What's this?
Hello, welcome back to the Phreak Show. Bumpy McSquigums here. I want to thank you all for joining me as I continue with my Let's Play of Tyranny. It's time, folks, for us to get into the town and do some stuff. This cart is bursting with fresh food and useful goods. Oh, there's a weird hat, a stone shield helm. Appears to be better in some ways than mine, but not as good in others. We'll take it, just because we're thieves and we do things like that. Yeah, we can do stuff like that. Hey, there's a pinky outside, or inside, or something. It's a boar. The table is lined with various medicinal herbs. It would appear that they have been carefully rationed. Who knew? We have Rona here. Got no time to chitter. Too much armor to mend. Speak to Uncle Pentobur if you have rings to trade. Hail to you, guardian of the law. The man dressed in the merchant finery greets you with a smile. If you have a few excess rings weighing you down, best unburden yourself before battle. You know that if the disfavored suffer a merchant in their camp, that must be a man selling only the finest provisions and armaments. He points to his collection of shields, rations, satchels, wineskins, and other sundries. Take a look if something interests you. Alright, let me see your wares. Soldier. Most of the camp followers are slaves or haulers. You don't see many merchants. I try not to congratulate myself on my good fortune, since it's by the wisdom and mercy of Tunin that I make a profit. Perhaps we're not so different in that respect, he winks. Your largest crate. Open it now. Something in your tone causes him to blanch. He scrambles to remove the lid from the largest of his crates. Of course, Fatebinder. Don't let me inconvenience you for a moment. The supplies are all perfectly ordinary. You see nothing out of place or unauthorized by his mercantile license. Everything seems to be in order here. Try to steal something. Smells like petal grass in here. Have you been selling something you shouldn't? No, everything seems to be in order. Well, I'm glad to hear it. This isn't a temptation in the world. There isn't a temptation in the world that would steer me from the good favor of Tunin or Kairos. Well, how did you come to work for the disfavored? Hard work and good suppliers. Okay. When Tunin's men came to my village, all the merchants were giving different lists of what they were or weren't permitted to trade. He smiles, hands on hips. In Kairos' wisdom, my record must have been a good one, because I was given the right to trade in all manner of goods, most importantly, arms. Not a lot of merchants can legally sell weapons. It was like that even before Kairos. Well, let me see your wares. He rubs his hands together, eyes alight. Let's see if we can't find something you might like. You think I have money, you fool. It's fine. Just a one-handed... Ugh. All you have are one-handed weapons? You're the worst. Ooh, well, it's fine. I don't have any money to buy stuff anyway, so it's whatever. These arrows were fletched with precision and care. The sparring dummy shows the deep gouges of hard use. Yeah, it does. What does Barrack have to say, I wonder? Let's go talk to him and see. You can't make out the ironclad soldier's expression under his twisted helmet. He merely stares at you. The strong, silent type, are you? It's fine. Alright, what do we have over here? We have Isotanis. Oh, what's this over here? Let's go see. I would like to steal from your weapon rack. Ooh, there's a bow. Yeah. Alright, what else we got? What else? Anything? Oh, what? You want to talk to me? I'm itching to get back on the battlefield. Back on the field of battle. Alright, Isotanius, or whatever your name is, talk to me. Isotanus curses the air as a blade of thin iron breaks in half beneath his hammer. Repairing weapons with scrap isn't exactly why I got into this craft, but our supplies are spent. He wipes the sweat from his brow and gets a better look at you. Why not forge bronze? You, of all people, know how much iron means to us. He slaps you on the shoulder. A special discount on all my wares, just for you. Why'd I gain favor for that? During the Apex campaign, Scarlet Corps soldiers repurposed disfavored gear for their own needs. You upheld Northern tradition by returning the arms to the Legion and punishing the Chorus for their lack of proprietary, whatever words, guys. I can't speak anymore. I've like gone full crazy. Like, it's a miracle I'm even making somewhat coherent sentences at this point. I am spent today. I don't know what's wrong. I like just too much today. It's been a busy day. I've been outside working. I've been inside working. It's been obsessively difficult. And it's okay. It's fine. Just busy and I'm tired. So, like I said, miracles happen every day, guys, and this is one of them. Bronze will do in a pinch, but don't get me wrong. It can take a beating and get bent back into shape, unlike this stubborn iron we have here. He glances at a pile of his work with dread. And we always have plenty of tin and copper lying around, so supplies aren't the problem. It's a rare smith who can churn out military-grade bronze consistently. More often than not, it comes out soft. Look around camp. We're garbing the Legion head to toe in iron because it's cheaper and easier to produce for the masses. Couldn't do that with bronze. They call the disfavored the Iron Legion for a reason. Strategy and skill must be our backbone, but our claws are made of iron. The good stuff that comes from the smiths in Lethian's Crossing. You mentioned an iron shortage? Why not forge your own iron? Well, only the forge-bound smiths can make the stuff. They know the secret of iron. All I can do is mend and maintain their craft. It takes a master, nay, an artist to make a piece of iron fit for an indomitable soldier such as a disfavored. You mentioned there's an iron shortage. See? I'm starting to lose it, guys. I'm going to hold it together. We're going to get through this episode. We're going to get into combat. We're going to have some fun. I promise you. And I'm afraid so. The last shipment sent down the Matani went missing near Echo Call Crossing. I'm afraid we won't be seeing any more now that the valley is sealed. Forge-bound iron is Tunan's responsibility. Why is this the first I'm hearing of it? Keep your voice down. Isotanus flinches and lowers his own. Graven Ash doesn't want to cause a panic or pass any information to the Vendrian guard. Best case scenario, the iron tumbled off a boat and is rusting on a riverbed. Worst case, it ends up in enemy hands. Well, if I find myself an Echo Call, I suppose I can keep an eye out. I appreciate that, as does the great general. More than you might guess. Maybe he isn't quick to offer his thanks to outsiders, but I know he'll be grateful for your help. It would be a boon to the war effort if our iron was recovered. Well, you can trust me to handle this. I'm here to help, even if that means cleaning up the Archons' mess. You can trust me to handle this. Yeah! I knew that Tunan wouldn't have dispatched you without good reason. The court isn't exactly known for gambling when the stakes are high. He glances to a crate beside him and points to a small set of notches on the wood. You see that? That is how we tell apart our iron shipments from the rest. Inconspicuous so people don't go snooping around. You'll want to keep your eye out for these. Good hunting. The crate points to a small set of notches. I don't see any notches. Well, I'm sure it'll be obvious when I get to the spot where this is all at. Alright, so we got our first quest. Cool. I'm going to go over here and loot this. Oh, look at that. We got a dagger and a potion of elemental barrier. Okay. Enough messing around. We can't run, can we? Nope. Slow walk. Hey, it's Sterling Hagnon. I'm sure he loves me. Fresh straw in the corner of this prison cell absorbs much of the stench. What's going on, buddy? This is all your fault, you Kairos dog. Yep. I tend to make people sad. It is my lot in life. I can't help it. It's bitter quip. Because why not? Because why not? Glory to the voices of Narat. Projecting a salutation for all to hear, the grinning blood chanter raps his staff against the ground as you approach. Fatebinder Bobby McSquigums, I presume? His smile quickly retreats, giving way to a sour scowl. I am Bitter Quip. I am here as the emissary to the Scarlet Chorus. Okay. Bitter Quip looks at you impatiently. Well, what is it like working for the disfavored? He scoffs, looking away for you for a moment before sniffing and returning his attention to you. Reporting to the Iron Hag is an insult. You fought one duel for her title. One. Her leadership must be continuously proven, earned, and defended. Weakness should bleed to the bottom of the army, not rise to the top. My assignment here is also an insult, but one I will bear for the good of the chorus. Bitterquip sniffs the air, smiling with one side of his mouth. If only to see with my own eyes the failure of the disfavored. That will be a fine day. Well, what can you tell me of the Scarlet Chorus? The chorus is the future of the tiers. I feel only derision and pity for those who fear our inevitable ascension. Bitterquip looks at you with a raised eyebrow. What in particular would you like to know? Tell me about the voices of Narat. He is supreme commander and public servant. He who sets us free, but directs all. Bitterquip smiles as he talks, his face turning flush. The voices of Narat is the epitome, or the epitome, as some people would say, is the epitome of what each of us can be. A magician without equal, and the leader of uncountable numbers. The voices in the chorus are one, conquering, expanding, growing, changing, always stronger. Bitterquip pounds his staff on the ground. Glory to the voices! Okay, dude, a little bit creepy, a little over the top. I think maybe you should drink some calming juice. It's fine. How did you come to join the Scarlet Chorus? The doctrine of strength speaks to me, and I answered its call, as did some of my arcane peers. I took to the chorus almost instantly. Unlike most, I cried not for the life of comfort lost. To me, my magic invokes fear and terror, and I easily established my dominance over a pack in my early days in the chorus. Cool. If you're so curious about it all, Bitterquip smiles, lifting an eyebrow, perhaps you should visit our camp and see for yourself. What is your role in the chorus? I am a blood chanter. My magic can turn the will of a man in tide of battle. I have held command for 3 years now, though being forced to keep an eye on the disfavored is not the reward I had envisioned for my service thus far. It sounds as if you really like the voices of Narat. Bitterquip blinks several times and scowls, saying nothing. That's all for now. He nods as we depart. Alright, let's get this going. I think we've done enough babbling to other various things. What's this? A meager portion of game simmers in the large copper pot. Fragrant spices attempt to mask the potent smell of whatever creature they decided to cook. Onward to infamy, or something. I got nothing. We're going to go into the tent, and we're going to make a name for ourselves. Did you know that armor can never reduce damage below 1? It's just this thing that I knew. This thing that I learned. I will say that the load times are a little bit longer than I was expecting, but it's not horrible. Just slightly longer than I was expecting. Wow, you're talking a lot. And that looks like a Wraith King or something. Is there a combat log or something here that we can oh, here. Ah, good. Yesterday you chided me for wishing to wait. Now you suggest an even longer delay. Perhaps the voices in your skull ought to come to a consensus if you wish to be taken seriously. Good advice is flexible, changing with the moment. Besides, now we're agreeing with yesterday today you should be happy. Okay, we know you hate going into battle without overwhelming odds on your side. If you're so terrified of a challenge, why not wait for your reinforcements? I don't need your heckling, I need your scattering reports, or better yet, confirmation you quell the Oathbreakers in the Outer Valley. Oh, that. We will solve that in our own time and way. We must make at least a token effort to show them mercy, after all. Mercy? They have already shat upon our mercy once before. These gutter-born South Knobs deserve nothing better than death. Oh, calm down now. We must leave something to rule. Or have you forgotten Kairos' orders? Patience, old chum. Patience. Alright, we have Fifth Eye, we have the Voices of Narat, we have Graven Ash, and the Iron Marshal Arenos. Arenos? I got nothing. Alright, well, I guess we're going to start up a new conversation here.
That's 4 reports of avalanches in the mountains now. The Tiersmen can barely count past 9. They have neither the capacity nor the cause to close off the mountain passes. Either way, that leaves the 2nd and 4th cohort trapped outside the valley.
The Archon of War pounds his staff on the ground to punctuate his words. A large and imposing man to begin with. His profile is made larger still by his hulking suit of armor that hums with mystic energy.
Or it's the work of your perfidious Earthshakers. Only a fool would not suspect a traitorous Archon of poisoning the mind of his students with sedition. We would have killed the Earthshakers Guild for their master's treachery, but I'm sure you have some perfectly valid reason for allowing them to live as your pawns.
The Archon of Secrets passes a scepter between his hands as he speaks, twirling the rod in hypnotic circles. Emerald luminescence seeps from the seams of the Archon's ragged red robes. The glow is most noticeable where his neck ought to be. His mask seems to float and spin, never pivoting or bending naturally. Well, that's not disturbing in, like, every single conceivably possible way, but fine, you know.
Hey, watch yourself. When these two get going, you don't want to get between them.
Verse whispers fearfully as she beholds the Archons. I am here to proclaim Kairos' edict. The valley was sealed in preparation for this moment.
Did I give you permission to speak?
The Archon of War turns to you, his blue eyes wide with anger. The many portraits you've seen depict Graven Ash with a stern, unamused countenance. He is even more taciturn in the flesh. Sure. Bow to the Archons. Apologies for the sudden entrance. I've traveled long to be here. I'll bow.
Stormcaller, it is an honor to have you with us.
Ha!
I would imagine you are here with another of Kairos' edicts. Perhaps another catastrophe that will punish our foes for hiding behind their walls? My soldiers tell me you helped Commander Drotus on your way through Edring. You honor the court with your selfless cooperation, for that is the sort of camaraderie that Kairos demands of us all.
Sweet. On the last of his words, the Archon of War glares at the voices of Narat, furrowing his brow as he utters the word camaraderie. I require no thanks for doing my sworn duty. I come bearing an edict. Are you all done bickering? I have an edict to proclaim. I require no thanks for doing my sworn duty.
Modesty is your prerogative, but know that cooperation and goodwill have been rarities of late. You do your Lord Tunon a great honor by aiding your cousins in the disfavored.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, don't mind us while you trade your gushing praise. We're sure the Fatebinder has come because our company lacks in small talk.
I come bearing an edict of Kairos.
It seemed only yesterday you were proving your worth in battle, assisting my warriors in the siege of the bastard city. Now Kairos has chosen you for a second time to proclaim an edict. Tell us, good Fatebinder, what sort of punishment does the Overlord have in store for the Oathbreakers?
The Overlord's loyal servants must hold Ascension Hall by Kairos' A Day of Swords, or all in the valley shall perish. It seems you need some encouragement to work together. Kairos' edict will end the lives of everyone in this valley unless Ascension Hall is claimed by Kairos' Day of Swords. In honor of your incompetence and disarray, the edict will execute every living thing in this valley unless Ascension Hall is taken. Okay. We're going to go with the second one. It seems you need some encouragement to work together. Or I can just go with the like, truly diplomatic one would be the first one. We're going with the second one, because that's just what I feel. Wrath with the voices. Oh, favor with, okay. The earth sways with each word you utter, the air thickening with warmth as you pronounce the tersely phrased commandment. Crazy. It's every syllable drafted by the hand of Kairos. With the edict proclaimed, your pulse quickens and the muscles in your legs, worn from a long trip down the mountains, feel renewed. The tired limbs now nearly buoyant with vigor. Cool. And the final part of the scroll is...
The Overlord means to compel us into action. No doubt the avalanches in the mountains are part of this ultimatum. We must conquer the Oathbreakers or die in failure. There is no room for error, and no other way out of this valley alive.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
We'll need to advance across the Matani. We lose everything if we stand still. And we move to backup Plan Green. The Earthshakers didn't make it over the mountain in time. So we do this the hard way. Over the walls instead of through.
Earthshaker first. Sorry guys, Dota 2. Good stuff. Alright, the Archon of War taps a finger against his temple. A low rumble escapes from under his beard. Does he have like a beard sphincter? He farted or something? What is he talking about? It's fine.
So, you found your backbone at last! Oh, we were worried past humiliations would make you soft, timid. That was a record for you, right? The baker's dozen lost in one sortie. If you had waited for the chorus reinforcements, maybe we'd have eyes and ears on the matter.
The Archon of Secrets passes his scepter from one hand to the next, chuckling softly with each toss. Bicker all you wish, you're just wasting valuable time. Are you two daft? It is your indecision and bickering that necessitates this edict. Learn to work together or we're all doomed. We could remain silent, or they call you the Archon of Secrets, but you certainly don't seem to know anything remotely useful. Ooh, that's a burn right there. I'm just gonna say bicker all you wish.
The Fatebinder is right. We're acting not as leaders, but as children. I've no time for your foolish japes and petty taunts. We should focus on the objective at hand, and that is taking the Mittani River, and then advancing to Ascension Hall and ending this edict.
Then enough talking, there's work to be done. Our lives hang in the balance because you two bicker like children. Now go. Solve this problem you've started. No more sitting idle. I expect the disfavored to be on the march at once. Voices in a rat, I trust you are done acting the clown and will have your horde ready to march with all haste. Then enough talking. There's work to be done. My lord Barrick and his band have been drilled on the Echo Call assault plan. The Crescent Runners should be briefing him as we speak regarding the latest enemy. Hey, latest, not lastest. Sorry guys, different game. Anyway, enemy movement along the river. I will dispatch him at once. The Iron Marshal salutes, clapping her gauntlets to her breastplate. And I will ensure the chorus stands ready to march. If the disfavored can take the river, the chorus has the manpower to secure the outer ring of the valley.
Our soldiers clamor for battle, and at last we shall have it. Verse, we command you to continue guarding the Fatebinder. Tunan's Chosen is our honored guest, and must be shown our finest hospitality.
Boy, I don't like the way that sounds.
I won't let you down, boss. He'll get through the campaign in one piece, as long as he doesn't do anything too stupid.
The Archon twirls the scepter one last time, then taps the fifth eye on the shoulder, and the two depart. Alright, get out of here. Get.
Finally, the fool and his puppet are gone. Perhaps now I can hear myself think. Rarely do I question Kairos' judgment, but I will never understand why the voices of Narot is given such authority. I shudder to think what will become of us all should Tunon favor him in the end. Though the edict threatens the Scarlet Chorus just as it threatens us, I cannot shake the feeling that our allies will work against us. You've shown your worth in war, and your name has been known to the Legion since the very beginning of this long conquest. So I'd ask that you join us this one last time, to help us wrap up this last objective. If you wish to be counted amongst the glorious, speak with the Iron Marshal. She will direct the order of battle until we are ready for the final push into the Citadel.
I can join the disfavored? Cool. Short a few scouts, short a few soldiers, short a few, well, everything. I'm sure my brethren will be grateful for the assistance of a skilled outsider. And what of the Scarlet Chorus? How will they be helping?
I ask myself that question often. While we take the river crossing, the Scarlet Chorus should be using their sizable presence to remove the Oathbreaker patrols lurking in the outer valley.
The Oathbreakers have maintained a sizable force outside the Citadel. We need the Chorus's manpower to scour the region. Otherwise, the Oathbreakers will attack at our heels once we cross the Mittani. Well, I would be honored to help. The Iron Marshal salutes Graven Ash, then turns to leave the tent. I will be at the training grounds readying the soldiers. Find me there when you are ready. Alright, man, we are just killing it with these guys. She pauses, clearing her throat. And though I am loath to mention it, the chorus can likely use your assistance. They certainly won't secure the outer valley on their own. Fifth Eye will be somewhere in that rat's nest they call a camp due east. Seek him out if you must. Well, thank you. That was very kind of you to mention that. Disfavored favor ability, stand together, stand tall. Ooh, a reputation ability unlocked. Kairos' Day of Swords. Oh dear God. Quest complete. Proclaim Kairos' Edict to the Archons. Now that you have delivered word of Kairos' Edict to the army, speak with the Fifth Eye at the Scarlet Chorus camp. Okay. Now, to the army is the time remaining until Kairos' Day of Swords appears next to the current date of the navigation bar. Speak with the Iron Marshal Arenos. The terms of Kairos' edict must be met by this date, or everyone in Vendrin's well will die. Yeah, that. So we have 8 days before terrible, terrible bad things happen to us. Good to know. Good to know. Do you mind if I steal stuff from you? Like, are you going to be mad? Because this is like a thing that we do. I will take your frayed purple cloth. And I don't like it. I'm going to go over here and...
It's all in the reflexes.
Yeah. Ooh, we gained plus... Ooh, that's pretty good. What is this? Oh, those are... I thought that was a sword. I'm like, how is that a gauntlet? But it is. I see it. I sees it now. And we get a turquoise stone. Ooh, it's worth 5 bronze. That's kind of impressive. Alright, do we need to do anything else in here? What's this say? This battle report from Echo Call Crossing blames the failure of the assault on the village of the Scarlet Chorus. Apparently their scouts failed to report critical intelligence about the enemy composition. Well, that sounds about right. The Archon of the War lets out alongside as he surveys the maps and models displayed about his desk. He glances over his shoulder, making brief eye contact with you, furrows his brow, and turns back to his contemplation. The missive said the Stormcaller was coming. Seems I was a fool to think you'd bring an edict that would pulverize and punish the Oathbreakers. Bow to the Archon. May we speak a moment? I do not have much patience left for words, but I will not turn away an honored friend. You have been our trusted ally in the court since the early days of the conquest. Least I can do is spare you a moment of my time. What is on your mind? Your regiment here in Vendrin's Well is small, even by disfavored standards. You know what? I'm just going to say that's it. We're going to leave. For the glory of Kairos, the Archon of War taps the haft of his maul to the ground for emphasis, then turns back to his maps. We will do more talking and reading and various things later. Right now, we're actually out of time again. I was hoping to get into combat, but maybe we can get ourselves poised to go into combat at the beginning of the next episode. So I'm going to search for that point. That's like my goal right now, is I'm going to try to reach that particular moment. And we'll see. Alright, I believe she said she was going to be down here somewhere. This dude's running. Why are you running? Alright, there's the Iron Marshal. I'm going to go talk to her. Don't just coddle the impact. Push back with your shield. Take the momentum. Iron Marshal Arenos, field commander of the disfavored, pounds her fist in the air as she calls out to the warriors on their training field. I said eyes on your opponent's waistline. If you spend more than a glance checking his footwork, you've lost. The Iron Marshal, alright, the disfavored officer turns to you, adjusting her pale golden surcoat. Judging from her uniform, this is the Iron Marshal Arenos' first among equals in the Iron Guard, Graven Ash's inner circle of trusted followers, charged with being the duties of leadership, logistics, and training. There is rarely a quiet day for the second in command of the disfavored legion. Cool. She clears her throat. Need to stay on top of the troops or their skills will rust. It's for their own good, even if they don't believe it. It was mentioned that you're short on warriors and need help. What's the situation? I have brigades amassing along Placid, Echo Call, and Little Tooth crossings. The Vendrin Guard may be able to hold one bridge, but they cannot hold against a concerted three-prong attack. I have no right to give you orders, but... Her words falter, a short cough breaking her flow. But we all die to Kairos' edict should we fail, so I'm not about to let my pride blind me to the value of good help. This is the second major attack on the river, correct? What happened last time? Defeat in detail. We carved a bloody path up the river, but at that point, everyone who charged ahead was lost. We had no chorus backup. It was just a few disfavored squads. I can't tell you exactly how they were defeated, but we lost the whole assault team. She shakes her head, letting out a long, pained sigh. We found bodies washing up in the river for days. It's not often the Tearsmen put up such a good fight. It certainly made us reevaluate the numbers we'll need to take this valley. Really? Are you sure our scouts didn't give you all sorts of details about the enemy and you just chose to disregard our warnings? I'm sure the disfavored would have heeded any such advice. I lost some loyalty and gained some favor. Maybe next time we won't be so forthcoming. Let's see how many of your precious northern stock survived this war without our intelligence to back them up. Don't test me, Fury. This sort of talk gets us nowhere. What's the value of taking the crossing? The disfavored need my help? What's the value of taking the crossing? We can't just march from here to the Citadel with the Vendran Guard manning the riverbanks. Forwarding troops and supplies through even the narrowest points of the river makes us vulnerable to attack, especially since our armor wasn't built for swimming. She points north toward the mountain spire looming on the horizon. If we can take the river, we have a clear march to the Citadel, and Ascension Hall will be ours in no time. The disfavored need our help. Trying to pour salt on my pride, we left Fort Resolution with 100 on 100, and there have been no reinforcements or reserves. We keep throwing warriors back into battle before they're properly rested, so yes, I need to rely on all of our allies, especially since most of our allies are conscripted Tearsmen. Worse than useless. If the disfavored didn't take every opportunity to insult the Scarlet Chorus, perhaps you'd find our help more forthcoming. Shut your snout, filthy mongrel. I won't suffer childish japes in my camp. She has a point. The disfavored constantly mock the Scarlet Chorus. Alright, I've gained wrath with the disfavored, but I've also gained some loyalty with verse. The disfavored have history, pedigree, proper training, all things these southern conscripts lack. We didn't train for decades to be peers and equals of these traitor Tearsmen. We've lived lives of dedication to Kairos, and the Chorus accepts any fickle coward too fearful to die by their convictions. What you're seeing here is disfavored bigotry at its finest. I'm somehow at fault because my country wasn't conquered before I was born. Forget that I chose Kairos, forget that I chose the Scarlet Chorus, forget that I chose to fight off rapists and killers to earn my place in the army, just for the disfavored to call me a worthless turncoat to my face. No one gave me a suit of armor that I could hide behind. No one issued me a sword and a measure of authority. I took everything that I have, and I fight every day to keep it. Freaking northern swine. My frustration was aimed at those in the chorus who accept Kairos lightly. The disfavored commander withdraws a half pace. Like loyalty were some shifting breeze. Alright, well, I will assist you. Then our plan just might work. The Iron Marshal lifts her gauntlet close to her face, shifting her eyes from you to the metal articulations. We are loath to work with those who do not share our training and our values, but we do know that Tunin, the adjudicator, I'm losing it, guys, select only the most capable minds for the court, and I trust you will honor us all on the field. Antio will be leading the charge at Echo Call Crossing. Assisting you will be a Barak of the Stone Shields. She points to a heavily armored soldier standing sentry at the edge of the training field. Before you ask, no, the Forge-bound weren't sloshed on Dappleseed when they fitted his armor. He survived the full force of the Edict of Storms, and this armor doesn't exactly, come off. Tactically, it's quite brilliant, but otherwise, it's something of a curse. Tapping her helmet twice, Arenos signals to the hulking presence. Barak, come meet the Fatebinder. The soldier steps up to you, better resembles an amalgamation of rusted blades and mismatched pieces of armor fused into vaguely human shape. He reeks of sweat, feces, and whatever oil treatment keeps him flexible.
Fatebinder, the Iron Marshal has tasked me with keeping you alive, and I have no intention of disappointing her. That should be enough assurance for anyone.
Okay, staying out of trouble?
I wasn't sure you would recognize me, Binder.
A familiar voice emerges from the unfamiliar wall of walking iron. For a moment you can recall the features of Barak of the Stone Shields when he wore the traditional disfavored uniform during the Stalwart campaign. No, he looks much changed.
And no, not staying out of trouble, just solving it. I take it you're with us for Echo Call?
Barak wraps his gauntlets against the twisted bands of iron that form his breastplate.
Barrick, is that you under there? I had no idea you were in Vendrian's well. Fatebinder, do you know this walking anchor?
Just a minute, you two know each other?
No. Oh, that is to say, yes. I'm already as familiar with this ironclad halfwit as I care to be.
She regards Barak with a mixed look.
We don't have time to trade jabs today, Verse. After the siege, you can throw as many tantrums as you please. I suggest that we remain focused on the mission.
No offense to the mission, but seeing you looking like a garbage heap and reeking of a mass grave is more amusing by far. Did you forget how to don your armor, or did Grave and Ash leave you out in the rain?
Barak sighs, a frustrated growl shaking his iron enclosure of his suit. Let's see. He may be as heavy as an anchor, but at least he's not as dense as one. Ooh,
Leave intellect to the sages and their fallen library. You would do better to know me as one iron link of the disfavored phalanx.
The Fatebinder will be joining us to push across the river. I figured an extra hand might help, and more importantly, if my worries come true, the chorus tries to impede the mission. We will have an observer from the court on our side.
Better to work with the Honorable Binder than some chorus children.
He nods to you, his armor creaking as he bends his neck. I ask that Barak accompany you there to arbitrate the cooperation between his company and the Scarlet Chorus. Alright, it's now unlocked on the world map. Barak, you've been without a cohort since the last Battle of Stalwart. It's time we gave you a task more worthy than hauling wagons and leading training drills. She plants her hands on her hips and speaks in clipped official terms. Ash has assigned you to the Fatebinder's service. You're to assume this task is ongoing until we find a more permanent spot for you, which could very well mean the swiftly approaching end of this war, or when the Fatebinder dismisses you. Is that understood? Alright, I suppose I could be in worse company than that of a renowned mage slayer. I have seen how this one treats any upstarts who fail to recognize the benefits of Kairos' peace. I would much rather attend to my duties here. That is, unless you're serious about my change of assignment, Iron Marshal. That's an order, Barak. She shakes her head and sighs, returning her focus on you. He can be stubborn as pulling a spire out of the earth, but he's a good soldier. I hope you don't mind the company. I'm honored to have a member of the Iron Legion at my side. Excellent. I look forward to your success on the field. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this particular episode. Unfortunately, we are out of time, and that's going to do it for today's coverage. But tomorrow, there will be more, and we'll get some stuff done. We'll get some things handled. We're going to go to Echo's Crossing, or Calling, or something. Echo Calls Crossing, maybe, and we'll do stuff. It'll be fun. I promise. I promise it'll be fun, ladies and gentlemen. You can promise too. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe, and share it. And I will see you guys in the very next episode. Until then, my name's Bumpy McSquigums. Thank you for stopping by the Phreak Show, and I will see you later.